ATEX certified equipment from a European manufacturer is acceptable for installation in a zone area as classified under Article 505 of the National Electrical Code. ATEX certification, a European standard for equipment intended for use in explosive atmospheres, holds recognition within the NEC framework used in the United States. Critical conditions apply for such installations. The equipment should be demonstrably and appropriately labeled, with markings designating its suitability for zone area applications. Secondly, installation procedures must rigorously adhere to the NEC guidelines established for zone areas. This adherence encompasses a comprehensive range of factors, including wiring methods, grounding techniques, and the implementation of explosion protection methods appropriate for the designated zone. The NEC Article 505 specifically addresses the classification of locations based on the properties of flammable liquids, gases, or vapors that may be present, and the likelihood of explosive or ignitable mixtures occurring. The NEC provides specific guidance on acceptable protection techniques for equipment installed in each zone. Common protection methods include explosion-proof enclosures, intrinsic safety, increased safety, and other methods detailed within the NEC. It is imperative to select equipment with a protection method suitable for the specific hazard present in the zone area. ATEX and ASIC standards are closely related. The International Electrotechnical Commission's system for certification to standards relating to equipment for use in explosive atmospheres, or ASIC system, is an international scheme that assesses the conformity of equipment intended for use in explosive atmospheres. While ATEX is a European Union directive, ASIC is a global scheme. Equipment certified under ASIC is generally accepted in many countries, and the technical requirements are largely harmonized with ATEX. The principle of using ATEX or ASIC certified equipment in NEC classified zone areas hinges on demonstrating equivalent safety. This means ensuring that the chosen equipment provides a level of protection at least equal to, if not exceeding, what would be required by the NEC for the specific zone and hazardous material involved. Documentation is crucial. All equipment should be accompanied by documentation, including certificates, test reports, and instructions to verify its ATEX or ASIC certification. This documentation should be readily available for inspection by the authority having jurisdiction. The authority having jurisdiction, or ARJ, is the entity responsible for enforcing electrical codes and regulations in a given area. The AHJ may require additional documentation or testing to ensure that the equipment meets the NEC requirements. Installers and operators bear the responsibility of ensuring the equipment selected is appropriate for the specific hazardous environment. This includes considering the temperature classification or T rating of the equipment, which indicates the maximum surface temperature the equipment will reach during operation. The T rating must be suitable for the auto-ignition temperature of the flammable substance present. For example, if a zone area contains a gas with an auto-ignition temperature of 200 degrees Celsius, equipment with a T rating of T4 or lower would be required, as T4 corresponds to a maximum surface temperature of 135 degrees Celsius. Understanding the specific zone classification is also critical. Zone 0 represents an area where explosive atmospheres are present continuously or for long periods. Zone 1 is an area where explosive atmospheres are likely to occur in normal operation. Zone 2 is an area where explosive atmospheres are not likely to occur in normal operation, but if they do occur, they will exist for only a short period. The NEC classifies hazardous locations into Class I, Class Roman II, and Class Roman III, each addressing different types of hazards. Class I locations involve flammable gases or vapors. Class Roman II locations involve combustible dusts. Class Roman III locations involve ignitable fibers or flyings. Article 505 of the NEC provides the zone classification system as an alternative to the division system for Class I locations. The zone system is based on the frequency and duration of the presence of flammable gases or vapors. Article 500 of the NEC covers the requirements for equipment and wiring in hazardous locations. This article provides general requirements that apply to all classes, divisions, and zones. Specific articles within the NEC provide additional requirements for each class, division, and zone. For example, Article 501 covers Class I, Division 1 and 2 locations, while Article 502 covers Class Roman II, Division 1 and 2 locations. Article 505 covers Class I, Zone 0, 1, and 2 locations. When installing ATEX certified equipment in a zone area, it is essential to verify that the equipment is suitable for the specific class and zone. The equipment must be marked with the appropriate class, zone, and temperature classification. Wiring methods in hazardous locations must also comply with the NEC requirements. Conduit systems must be sealed to prevent the passage of flammable gases or vapors from one area to another. Fittings and enclosures must be explosion-proof or intrinsically safe depending on the zone. Grounding is another critical aspect of hazardous location wiring. Equipment and wiring must be properly grounded to prevent the accumulation of static electricity, which could ignite flammable atmospheres. The NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding in hazardous locations. Regular inspections and maintenance are essential to ensure the continued safety of electrical equipment in hazardous locations. Inspections should be conducted by qualified personnel who are familiar with the NEC requirements and the specific hazards present in the area. Maintenance should be performed in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations and the NEC requirements. Any repairs or modifications to equipment should be performed by qualified personnel using approved parts and procedures. Documentation of inspections and maintenance should be maintained for future reference. In some cases, the AHJ may require additional testing or certification to verify that the ATEX certified equipment meets the NEC requirements. This may involve submitting the equipment to a recognized testing laboratory for evaluation. Alternatively, the AHJ may accept a field evaluation performed by a qualified third-party inspector. A field evaluation involves a thorough inspection of the equipment and its installation to verify that it complies with the NEC requirements. The inspector will typically issue a report documenting the findings of the evaluation. The report may identify any deficiencies that need to be corrected before the equipment can be approved for use. It is important to work closely with the AHJ throughout the installation process to ensure that all requirements are met. The AHJ can provide guidance on the interpretation of the NEC requirements and can help to resolve any questions or concerns that may arise. Obtaining approval from the AHJ is essential before energizing the equipment. Failure to obtain approval could result in fines or penalties. While ATEX certification is generally recognized by the NEC, there may be specific instances where additional testing or certification is required. For example, if the equipment incorporates features or technologies that are not covered by the ATEX standards, the AHJ may require additional testing to ensure that the equipment is safe for use in the specific hazardous location. Similarly, if the equipment is being used in an application that is not covered by the ATEX standards, the AHJ may require additional engineering analysis to verify that the equipment is suitable for the intended use. In addition to the NEC requirements, there may be other applicable codes and standards that need to be considered. For example, the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, publishes a number of standards related to hazardous locations, such as NFPA 496, which covers the purging and pressurization of enclosures. These standards provide guidance on best practices for designing, installing, and maintaining electrical equipment in hazardous locations. It is important to be familiar with all applicable codes and standards before beginning any work in a hazardous location. Proper training is essential for anyone who works with electrical equipment in hazardous locations. Training should cover the NEC requirements, the ATEX standards, and the specific hazards present in the area. Training should also cover the proper use of personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as respirators and flame-resistant clothing. Only qualified personnel should be allowed to install, inspect, and maintain electrical equipment in hazardous locations. The selection of appropriate equipment for hazardous locations is a complex process that requires careful consideration of a number of factors. These factors include the class, zone, and temperature classification of the location, the properties of the flammable substances present, and the applicable codes and standards. It is important to consult with qualified experts to ensure that the equipment selected is suitable for the specific application. The installation of electrical equipment in hazardous locations is a critical task that must be performed by qualified personnel in accordance with the NEC requirements. Proper installation is essential to ensure the safety of personnel and property. Regular inspections and maintenance are essential to ensure the continued safety of electrical equipment in hazardous locations. Inspection should be conducted by qualified personnel who are familiar with the NEC requirements and specific hazards present in the area. Maintenance should be performed in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations and the NEC requirements. By following these guidelines, it is possible to safely install and operate ATEX certified equipment in zone areas classified according to Article 505 of the NEC.